When Mom opens the trunk a year later, the family learns the truth about the missing dog. They had been together for a year when they finally realized that there was no closure and probably never would be. They were slowly forgetting about Lola as their hearts were only starting to heal. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. A family seldom recovers well after a pet disappears. However, they discovered what had happened to their mother when their mother opened the SUV's trunk and they saw what was inside. Anyone who has ever had a dog may relate to the devastating sensation that occurs when their animal companion disappears. Dogs have a way of integrating themselves into the family, so losing one of them is tough for everyone. The Texas Robles family was no different. They had truly given up on ever seeing Lola, their golden Labrador, again. Isla Robles discovered the family dog was gone in the summer of 2016. She was unable to be found even after phoning the neighborhood veterinary clinics and shelters, posting flyers, and combing the streets. The family as a whole realized that their prospects of finding her were poor as the days stretched into weeks. It crushed Isla's heart to have to gently convey the news to Joshua and Jesslyn. Isla had looked into every possibility as the weeks turned into months, but she was still unsure about Lola's escape route. She had always been watchful to make sure Lola didn't run out when she opened the front gate and pulled inside, and she had examined the fence for holes to be sure that she hadn't escaped. Where was she then? She didn't have the best of odds. Isla had carried out the study. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals studied the number of missing pets that are actually brought back home safely in 2012, and the results weren't encouraging. Despite the fact that over 80% of dogs are saved and placed in shelters, a lot of dog owners remain in the dark about their pets' whereabouts. Lola, would she end up a statistic? Since Lola had been microchipped by Isla when she was little, someone would have undoubtedly read her chip and gotten in touch with her if she had been picked up. Isla, meanwhile, had also read of cases in which the microchip had moved and failed to register on the initial scan. She could not stop thinking about Lola, sitting there in a shelter someplace, nameless. However, the Robles family was unaware that it would only be a matter of time until they found out the truth about what had actually happened to her. It had been a full year since Lola vanished. To the best of their abilities, the Robles family tried to move on. Perhaps it was time for Jesslyn and Joshua to obtain a new puppy, Isla and her husband talked about. Without a joyful face and a wagging tail to welcome children home from school, the house had just changed. They were aware that the moment had come. Isla then received an odd call. One day, Jesslyn and Joshua hurried down the road to meet their mother when they heard her coming home. Isla unlocked the SUV's trunk and hesitated for a second, noticing her children approaching but attempting to obstruct their vision. Her kids were coming up, though, and they stopped dead in their tracks when they saw the expression on her face. Jesslyn observed the look on her mother's face and said, "What the heck?" Her gaze shifted to the car's trunk and she became suspicious right away. It was something big that was in the rear. "Did you get a dog?" Jesslyn inquired. Isla gave a little shake of her head and gestured to her kids to come peek inside the trunk. It is true that there was a dog in the trunk, but the kids didn't think they would recognize her. When they realized it was Lola and not a new puppy, their faces sank. The kids needed several minutes to take it all in. It had been a whole year since they'd last seen her, after all. What had transpired with her? Isla had gotten a completely unexpected call from Dallas Animal Services on that tragic day. They said that Lola had found her way into their sanctuary and that they had instantly checked her microchip. Thank goodness Isla's contact information remained the same, so they were able to locate and return the golden lab to her. Isla only needed to go fetch her up. However, she wasn't ready for the change Lola had undergone when she got there. When they saw their cherished puppy, Joshua cried out while Jesslyn remained still in disbelief. Thank goodness, after all this time, she was still alive and healthy. Her tail wagged so quickly it was only a blur as she sprang out of the car to welcome the young people she adored. Isla grabbed her baby into her arms and soothed her, moved by her response. She comfortingly responded, "It's Lola," and Jesslyn started to shed happy tears. Isla couldn't resist crying as well. She cried, "Oh, my baby," and embraced her more tightly. Overwhelmed by everything, Joshua rushed to embrace with his mother and sister. Isla replied, holding two weeping kids, "We have Lola back. Do you think it's true?" However, Lola's entrance raised some questions for the kids. Lola had been properly taken care of during her year away from the Robles. Dallas Animal Services informed Isla when she called with the wonderful news. She had gained considerable weight, in fact. It caught the children's attention right away. They said, "Look how fat she is." However, where had she been? Where did you find her? As Joshua watched her run about the lawn, obviously thrilled to be home at last, he questioned in shock. Isla said, "They picked her up, and because she has a chip, they were able to call us and say, 'We found your dog.'" "Can you believe we have Lola?" she said, seeming unsure of herself. After being led inside, Lola entered the kitchen for the first time in a year. As she found her home, the kids offered her cuddles and tickles. "Everybody rub her belly, she missed everybody," Isla cried out, and Jeslyn and Joshua didn't have to hear it from her twice. Isla's buddy recorded the heartwarming reunion on video and shared it on Facebook, where it attracted a lot of interest. "This dog is about to reunite with her family after she was missing for over a year," the Facebook post said. More than 2 million people have seen the video since then. The touching reunion between Lola and her family is a phenomenon that people can't get enough of. Many viewers were moved enough to write comments on the video's emotional impact, some of which emphasized a crucial aspect of pet ownership. "All right, I'm sobbing, but happy tears. Getting your pets microchipped is crucial because it will enable canines like Lola to be located and reunited with their rightful owners," a user said. "I'm a huge advocate for chipping and registration," said another. However, despite the fact that microchipping is mandatory for dogs, a few viewers were curious about Lola's location. "Great story, but I wonder, if Lola had a chip and that's how they managed to find the owners, why was she gone for over a year?" someone responded. Dallas Animal Services believes it is clear what the answer is to this important query. Isla couldn't figure out how Lola had left the yard, but maybe she was taken. The Robles family is ecstatic that their furry family member is back home safely, regardless of the circumstances, but it is unlikely that they would have located her at all if she hadn't been microchipped. Although it's unknown what dangers Lola encountered while living on the streets, it's certain that the fortunate dog is glad to be home at last. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.